There's a lot of interest in the trigger pull on the Ruger American, so this is just going to be a quick close-up video on what it looks like, and I'll tell you what it feels like. You can see there is an over travel stop molded into the trigger well. Sort of weird, kind of funky looking, but it does work very well. So let's go ahead and take up the little trigger safety blade, and then all the way to there, that is slack or take up. At this point we are on the sear, and it's all creep until that over travel stop basically. Now the reset, right there, unfortunately, it makes you redo a lot of that take up before you're back to here, which is where it gets tension on it ahead of the brake. This would be a great trigger if it reset here, and all you had to do was repeat that part where it's actually on the sear. Unfortunately, it makes you go far forward every single time, go through all that slack again every single time, and then back into the brake, which is pretty clean. It's not VP9 level, it's not PPQ level, but it's cleaner, smoother, and crisper than a Glock. Speaking of, let me throw a Glock in here just for comparison, mainly on the reset, so you can see what riding that reset looks like, because it doesn't make you redo that slack before you're up against the sear ahead of the brake. All right, here we go. This is a bone stock Glock 19 Gen 4 safety blade, slack or take up. Now we're up against the Glock sear. And we'll see once I let it out for the reset here. Click, and we're back on that stiff part of the trigger pull that's actually on the sear, doing the work, pulling and releasing the striker. It's not making me repeat all of that slack, and I'll show you that because here's the click, and here's the trigger all the way out. This does not have to be repeated if you ride the reset. So I think some people will argue that the Glock's trigger is better than this Ruger American trigger. I like the feel of the metal trigger shoe on the Ruger American a little bit better. I think the brake is a bit cleaner. Once you're actually on the sear here for the brake, it's shorter and it's crisper. But that reset distance is a problem. As you can see, it's basically the entire way back off of the trigger. There's reset, and there's all the way off. And that's where pressure really starts. So I don't know, it's all right, nothing spectacular. I know the aftermarket is going to be making a lot of stuff for this gun though. It looks like, even though this gun is brand spanking new, KE Arms is about to release a trigger for it. Now, if there's one other little gripe, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to see, but the trigger blade, yeah, you see how it goes beyond the face of the trigger? What it does is it leaves that notch in there. It feels like the trigger skeletonized and machined in the middle. That notch has two relatively sharp edges on either side of it, and it's not that comfortable. And when you're pulling on this thing, that safety blade is recessed all the way beyond the face of the trigger. My finger is pushing on that empty hole where that notch is, and eventually it leaves a mark, something like that. It does start to get uncomfortable after shooting it for a while.